Hello again, teachers. So I'm going to kind of back up here after the last tutorial that we posted because I realized there's been an update. And the nice update about this is that you can kind of go either way depending upon your preference. If you had already set things up, it's totally fine. But if you guys had downloaded this recently, under Rooms, you may have noticed there's this important message here on Room Links. So we were talking about Google Calendar and kind of setting everything up, which still is 100% accurate. However, you don't have to do that anymore. So what's nice about this update is that you can actually leave these blank. So I'm just going to triple click in these to erase them. And then that's pretty much all you have to do. You do need to, you could actually even leave the main link blank, but if you leave that blank, that means you're having to resend that information to your students like all the time, which could super get annoying. So I'm going to recommend you have a main link that you've already created in the past and that you leave that there. But everything else, so in my case, I've got 4 breakout rooms, red, orange, yellow, green. I'm going to leave blank. Now here's what's cool. When I click on save, it's going to auto create links for me. And what's nice about that is that technically either I can just use those links and not have to worry about my Google Calendar for those 4 breakout rooms, or I can recreate them every day so that they're like super secure and nobody's ever seen them before. I mean, security-wise, students can't get in anyway, but if it just puts your heart at ease, you can create new ones each time. So that being said, whether you set it up through Google Classroom or whether you're going to leave that blank, hopefully at this point you now have a course, at least one course that you've set up if you're in secondary, probably multiple, and you've set up your breakout rooms. One note I want to add in there is if you're a secondary teacher or you teach multiple classes one way or another, you could use the same links all day long. So if I have a class from 9 to 9:30, then a class from 10 to 10:30, then a class from 11 to 11:30 in terms of synchronous instruction, I could use the same link all day long. The only reason you might not want to do that is because, kids could technically jump in. So if you want to be overly cautious, create separate classes. But I just want to throw it out there that technically you could use the same link. Okay. So one way or the other, at this point, you are ready to get started with a breakout room. So if I go to the Meet tab, and again, we're going to cover the Google Classroom separately, we're going to go to the one that says Start Class with Google Meet. So you've got 3 options here. Hopefully they're pretty obvious what they do. The first one would open just your main room. So when I went to Rooms, here's my main room. The second one would open just your breakout rooms. So in my case, red, orange, yellow, green. And the last one would open both. So far, I've pretty much felt like I should just always use this button to open both. It just seems to make the most sense. But again, I just want to point out because everybody's got different styles, so that's okay. Before we do that, though, let's back up one step. So if we were reading this like a book from top to bottom, the first one says your Meet account is, hopefully that's you. The second one says choose your course. So in my case, I did create an additional, so I'm going to make sure I'm in my EdTech course. If you're a secondary teacher, choose the course that you're going to be teaching next. And then this is actually kind of nice. You can choose how many breakout rooms you need or want. So I created 4, but I may not always need 4. Maybe I only need 1 this next day. Maybe I need 2 or 3. Maybe I created 8 to begin with, and every day is going to be a little different. Maybe one day I need 4, the next day I need 6, and the next day I only need 2. That's what's great about this extension is that you can choose it on the fly. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use all 4. So I'm going to choose 4. And then I'm going to go down to what we were talking about a moment ago, open both. So here's what's cool. Watch this. All of those rooms are going to launch. So I've got my main room, and then I've got each breakout room. So remember, there's 4 breakout rooms and a main, which means I will have a total of 5 rooms open. Now technically all I do is I've got 5 Google Meets open. Now this little guy kind of gets in the way now, so I'm going to go up to the top and click this little teal minimize button to just make it a little smaller. And in my case, this makes a really nice tiled view with all 6 windows on one, 5 Google Meet and 1 control window. And now you're ready to go. So the very main one up here at the top, notice the colors, I'm sorry, not the colors, but the names do match up. So my main window, that's where all my students are going to join. I've got red, I've got orange, yellow, and green. Even though no one's going to be in my breakout rooms yet, it is nice that they are here. Okay, so once you've launched, let me just go over some of the features here, and then we'll do another tutorial that'll actually show you guys what that looks like with students in there. So generally speaking, this will manage your mute and your camera on off. So notice in every room, my mic is off, my camera's off, but the speaker is on. That's because it's managing that for me. Now this top slider allows you to go from one room to the next. So if I click right once, I'm now going to be live in the red room. So I can turn on my microphone from here and be able to speak. So you can see here that little animation. That means I am now speaking to my red room. Click it again. I'm going to jump to the next one. Now I'm speaking in the orange room. And some of you guys may have noticed I didn't point out. This is where I'm controlling that. So let me go ahead and turn on my camera just so you guys get an idea of what's going on here. But when I turn my camera on, I am now listening to that room. I am speaking to that room, and I have my camera on to that room. And let's say I need to jump back to red because I see something going on in there. I'm just going to click back to red. Notice what this extension did. It muted me in the orange room, and it turned me completely on over in the red room. So you can do that in any room you want. You can jump back and forth. Here's yellow. Again, it's controlling all of my mutes. Here's green. And I can also pop back into the main room. One of the advantages that you're not going to see on other platforms that you are seeing right now is that you have the ability to actually supervise all rooms at one time. So you have the ability to look in the main room if anybody's there. You have the ability to supervise all breakout rooms. You cannot do that in other platforms. So currently, if you were doing breakout rooms in Zoom or you're doing breakout rooms in Blackboard Collaborate, you would have to jump in one room or the other without being able to supervise the other rooms, which personally scares me a lot. But I just want to point that out, that is probably one of the largest advantages to this solution, is that you can now technically supervise all rooms at one time. That being said, the other thing that's really nice about this is that you can actually broadcast to all rooms at the same time. So the top one allowed us to jump one room to the next. The next one is think of it like an all room control. I could listen to all rooms at once. I don't think I want to do that, but I could. If I wanted to do an audio announcement to all rooms, I'm going to click this one right here and notice what that does. It unmutes me in all rooms. And as you can see in the animation, I am now speaking to all 5 of my rooms. If I was using just breakouts and not the main, they would hear me in all 4. And what I can also do is turn on my camera in all rooms. So if I need to pull everyone together, hey everybody, Mr. Ruffridge here. You got 1 minute left and we're all going to go back into the main room. So again, that ability to be able to broadcast to everybody at the same time is super valuable, and hopefully you guys see the same. Okay, so for now, that's it. We're going to dive into some more details and control features in a little bit. I will see you soon.